guys, it's Kelly Meyer, licensed and certified pediatric speech language pathologist, and welcome back to the Speedy Speech YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also hit the thumbs up button if these videos are helpful for you and your little one. By doing those two simple things, this tells YouTube that you guys like my content and allows me to continue making YouTube videos. So thanks again for doing those things. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Speedy Speech Path and on Instagram at Speedy Speech. And make sure to check out the Instagram because that's where we post and you get to vote on next week's video, or you can leave a comment down below with your video comment or request. And I usually respond to all of these comments and questions. So that is the best way to reach me quickly, is by putting a comment down below. Okay, so also we just dropped new resources at our Teachers Pay Teachers store, and that is Speedy Speech SLP, or on our website at speedyslp.com. Make sure to sign up to receive free exclusive resources coming to you once a month, and you will also be notified every time we drop new resources and videos, which is usually every Friday. So thanks again for joining us, and on these parenting forums that I monitor just to keep up with you guys, to know what parents might have questions about, what therapists might be struggling to work with children on. And so the number one thing that I usually see is that my child will not attend to books. What do I do? How can I get them to attend to books? So if you're like, you already made a video on this, I did. However, I wanted to make sure I concretely give you all of my top tips, tricks, strategies, and techniques, and also give you 4 of my top book recommendations. And you can find all my book recommendations that just dropped on our brand new Amazon store. And so that is amazon.com/shop/speedy speech. And I will make sure to put the link right down below so that you can check out all these books that I'm talking about in case you want to purchase any, or in case you want to give some to a friend. I love books. I love whenever people do that for baby showers where they give a book instead of a gift, because I just think that books are fantastic, obviously, for speech and language development and also for social communication skills. And so today, really quickly, I'm going to list off each skill that I want to make sure that you can take away from this video, and then I'm gonna show you and demonstrate how to read these books and how to keep your child's attention while doing it. So tip number 1 for how to get a child to read a book with you is to make sure that your child already has an attention span that is the length of time that you are going to be reading the book. So if your child cannot attend to bubbles for 20 seconds before they get bored and walk away, then I can guarantee you 100% that they are definitely not going to read a 15-minute book with you, right? So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we're being realistic about our child's attention span. And if you're like, my child's attention span is terrible, make sure to check out my How to Increase Your Child's Attention Span video, which I will put right here up above, because those are some fun and quick techniques of how you can expand your child's attention. Usually attention span for a pre-linguistic skill, which are skills that come before speech starts to develop, as far as articulation and whenever a child starts talking. So they need to meet all of these pre-linguistic skills. There are 11 of those, and I also have a resource for that on Teachers Pay Teachers, as well as speedyslp.com. Make sure to check that out, and you can monitor where your child is at to see if they're ready to move to words yet. If your child is at words, that is perfect. If your child is at vowels or sounds, I'm going to use all of these different skills while I read these books with you, and make sure that I give you these books so that you can know how to read each book with your child. So number 1, make sure your child's attention span is on point to say. Make sure that they can attend. It's usually in minutes twice their age. So if your child's 2.5, they should be able to attend to something 5 minutes on average without needing adult support. So if your child is 1, then it's a 2-minute. If your child is 2, it's 4 minutes. You get it. I don't need to keep going. Okay, so number 2 is the best books to read are repetitive. So that's why I always highly recommend books like Brown Bear, what do you see? And then your child is able to process the information quickly because they know what's going to happen, and it allows them more time to provide those answers verbally. So if you're reading Brown Bear, that's a great book because it's repetitive and it's essentially using a verbal routine. And a verbal routine is something that we say all the time, like ready, set, you already knew I was going to say go there, right? So that gives your child and you, in that instance, the opportunity to fill in the blank with a familiar word that they know. And so it really is great for expanding vocabulary, expanding mean length of utterance, which is just how many words your child is able to put together. And so that is a great tip, making sure to read repetitive books. Number 3 is read sing-songy books. Sing-song as in like you can make any book a sing-song book, or whenever I read these, you'll notice that all of them rhyme, and so you automatically sing them in a sing-songy voice. So 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed, one fell off and bumped his, and I do have a link for the 8 Little Monkeys book that's pretty cute down below, as well as at the Amazon store. And so this also allows your child to engage and interact, and with melodic intonation, the brain again processes information more efficiently. Okay, so that was tip 1, 2, and 3, and so now we're at 4. We want to incorporate sensory play or gross motor development skills. And so if you have a book that has a texture on it, I love these books that have a texture. I love that My Dinosaur is Pink and Fluffy. Those have little cards that you can take in and out and put back in, and they also make sounds. My little niece loves those. And so I love texture books where you can make sure that your child is exploring new textures, because it's great for sensory integration in different parts of the brain. And also, if you have a child who is running around the whole time and will not sit in your lap and attend to a book, that means that they need more gross motor skills. And so what I'm going to say is, while you're reading the book, maybe read 1 page and then you take a lap. Maybe you take a lap through the tunnel and then you read another page. And then all we want to do is expand the amount of pages that you're going to read while your child's taking the lap. So now we read 2 pages before we take our lap or crawl through our tunnel, and then we read 3 pages, and that is how we can get through the entire book eventually. Also, this leads us into our next one, and so we are at tip number 5 now, is using first then. So if you want to incorporate some sort of first then principle, which is great for behavior training, so start with preferred, like first high five, then turn page. If that's what your child wants to do, right, is always like turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Hold the book and say, first high five. They high five you, and then you go, yes, turn page. Okay, ready? First high five, then turn page. I'm only using the necessary words here, so I'm using very simplified language. And I'm showing them and I'm gesturing to them to give me a high five, and then I will turn the page. I'm using the same thing over and over again. Your child is going to learn to trust you, that if they first touch eye, then turn page, that's how you really start to work on those receptive skills and following directions, which I also have a video on and I will put down below. You can even help them with their little hand. Good job, touch eye, turn page. And then now we are making our way through the book and also incorporating receptive and cognition skills for following directions, which is great, using a simple technique like first then. Okay, and another technique, number 6, is to not read the book like this. A lot of parents are very quiet, so I hate to tell you, but you're gonna get bored listening that as well. So what you want to do is, if this is the book I'm reading, I'm like, oh, you must never touch a monster. Don't touch him. And then especially because, of course, kids want to touch things that they're not supposed to. If I tell them not to touch, do not touch, no. And I'm saying it in that fun, silly, engaging voice, then they really want to touch it. And it's okay if they don't. I'll just take their little hand and be like, whoa, good touch, to let them know that it is okay. And that continues to allow them to grow and develop with all of their sensory skills, which is fantastic. So make sure that your face is being ecstatic. Make sure that you're not moo like the cow. It's moo or moo, like all your different moos. Practice your moos in the mirror if you're really uncomfortable with it. I promise your child will engage more with you if you are dramatic and exaggerative. So that is what your child needs. Okay, and my very last tip, if all else fails, I just act like I need help. So I'm like, stuck. I love that word, right? It's a great word because your child a lot of times needs what? Help, right? So we need help. So help, I need help. Can you help turn? And so then your child's able to turn the page because they're so strong, right? You're like, oh, good job. Wow, you helped me turn the page. Thank you. And then now I'm going to enjoy reading this book to myself until I'm going to try to get their attention, but I'm not going to say, Johnny, come sit down, come sit, read this book, right? Because they don't want to. But if I'm over here really struggling to open the book, I'm like, help. Oh no, I need help. Then your child's gonna be like, what? Mom needs my help? Well, let me come right over and help mom, right? And so then their attention and their power bucket are being filled fantastic way to incorporate these. And also you're getting them to attend to your book, which they might then think, that looks pretty fun, right? And so let me go over these books real quick. Those are all my top tips and tricks, so I hope that you wrote them down. Make sure to have a space in your house that is dedicated to reading books. Very, very important. So if your child likes to sit in your lap, if your child's little, like 6 months to 12 months old, or even up to 15 months, however little that they can still sit in your lap, I definitely recommend sitting in the lap because you can have the book right here. You can hand over hand help them touch things, point to things, turn the pages. You can always flip them right here if you need to draw attention to your mouth for a little speech sound hand cue or something. Sitting in your lap is a great way to spend time together as well and to develop that conversational turn-taking piece. It develops even at vocalizing purposefully, which is also a pre-linguistic skill. So whenever your child goes la 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 and they're babbling and then you babble back and then they babble, that's a great pre-linguistic skill. So I'm really happy if your child's doing that. That means that they are understanding the exchange between communication pieces and people and how to interact. So I love that You Must Never Touch a Monster book for a sensory book. And then I'm going to give you 3 more, which I love. You know what? I didn't put this in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and say tip number 8, use a simple book. Don't buy books with 1,000 million words. Do you know why? Because if it's too difficult for you to make easier for your child's going to get frustrated or not understand and walk away. But if it's so simple and you can always make a simple book even more elaborate or even more difficult by asking like WH questions. So I love this book, Moo Ba La La La. And you can get this again down below or at the Amazon store. A cow says, and again, we're targeting onomatopoeias here. This is a great way to start with those onomatopoeias, which are fun speech sound words that are typically, a lot of times, kids' first words, like wee, go, 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 all those fun sounds. I do have an onomatopoeia video that I will link right here for you guys so that you can watch after this, and I'll also put it down below. Okay, so moo, ba, la, 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 and I've got my child on my lap here, and if you're like, my child's not gonna sit on my lap. Nope, that's okay. So they can sit right next to you since this is our next child, and if they wanna get up and run around if they need to take a lap, then that's fine, and the best way to draw their attention is to be expressive whenever they're around you and you're reading the book. Whenever they go away, we just ignore and we pretend like we're not reading the book. But whenever they come back, we say, a cow says moo, a sheep says ba, 3 little pigs say la, la, la. And then your child, I love this because a lot of times the kids are like, no, right? A kid's favorite word, no. And I'm like, what? A pig says oink, 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 or whatever it is. And then they're like, no. And I'll say, what does the pig say? And then they might say oink, oink, and then here's how you expand it, right? You can now count the pigs. You can ask what color it is. You can ask where the pig lives or what the pig eats or who takes care of the pigs. I love that you can use a speech sound hand cue. So here, some other dogs go bow, wow, wow, and the kittens and the cats say, so speech on hand cue would be meow, like that, meow. If you need those, I'll put the link down below. They are a free download for you guys. And then we have the horse and the duck, which I love. And then at the end, what do you say? Love that. Also love books with a mirror at the end. It's called Peek-a-Who. That's a great book that I do love. Mine's all torn up, which is why I'm not using it in this video, but that means that the kids love it, right? These are brand new ones that I just picked up. Okay, so book number 2 is, I really like this one. For imitation, increasing imitation skills. And if you do need help with your child imitating, I do have a video on that, which I'll link below. So here it's, this is actually by Jimmy Fallon. I didn't even know that this book came out, but it is so cute. I love it. Pictures are simple and it's very simple language. So he has a dada one, which I love. I love this one. He also has a mama one, which is okay in my opinion. It's the opposite of this book. So here I would say dada. So the big cow is the dada, right? He says dada. And then the little cow, that would be your child, says moo. And you're like, what? No. It's a sheep, dada. And little sheep says ba. Great time to get your child to try to imitate. Big duck says dada, quack, quack. And then at the end, it's super cute. Let's say it all together one more time, practicing one of those first words that children develop, as well as all of those fun onomatopoeias. Practice the animals. We can name them. We can count. We can describe color, shape, size. I love this book, especially for turn taking. And then not to keep you guys, so the very, very last one is a barnyard dance. Any book that has gross motor activity in it, which is like moving, that is what we want, because then we can get up and act it out. So if your child is really struggling to stay with you more than one page, barnyard dance, people, barnyard dance. And so your child is really gonna get up and interact. It's also great for teaching action verbs, which I've had a request on for a video, so stay tuned for that one. So barnyard dance, just found out about this one. Love this, love this. Stomp your feet. So now we practice stomp, 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 stomp. And then it's clap your hands, and then we clap, 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 and then twirl with the pig if you know how. So all of this rhymes. You're sing-songing. I read it out of word, that's why I didn't rhyme. And you're doing all of the actions, and your child's gonna love getting up and interacting with you, and they're gonna love this book. This is definitely gonna be one that they wanna read over and over again. It has lots of animals in it. You're like, man, you like a lot of animal books. I love the interaction piece and the fun portion of the animal books, but most books honestly have animals in them. You can also get on my Amazon store a lot of they're called polka dot books by Melissa and Doug. Love those. All I'm gonna say is remember to buy simple books, and you can make them more difficult over time, but it's really difficult to make a difficult book easier, right? Okay guys, so those are my top almost 10 tips or tricks for getting your child to stay and love books and interact with you. So make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Let me know your comments, questions, or video requests down below, and check out our Teachers Pay Teachers store, as well as our new Amazon storefront with all of my book, toy, recommendations, mom essentials. You can find everything there, and that's at Speedy Speech. Okay guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.